Hello friends, welcome to my channel Zoology Club. Today's our new topic is pain. So what is pain? Let's start. Pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage or described in terms of such damage. Nature of pain. Pain is subjective and highly individualized. Its stimulus is physical and mental in nature. It interferes with personal relationships and influences the meaning of life. Only the patient knows whether pain is present and how the experience feels. May not be directly proportional to amount of tissue injury. Signs and symptoms of pain: increased respiratory rate, increased heart rate, peripheral vasoconstriction, pallor, elevated BP, increased blood glucose levels, diaphoresis, and dilated pupils. Types of pain. Based on duration, pain is two types. First is acute and second is chronic. Here, chronic pain is also three types: chronic non-cancer pain, chronic cancer pain, and chronic episodic pain. Types of pain. Pain is classified based on duration, based on based on location, based on intensity, and based on etiology. Signs and symptoms of pain: morning, guarding the area, restlessness and irritability. Acute pain. When pain lasts only through the expected recovery period, it is described as acute pain. Acute pain is protective, has a identifiable cause, is of short duration, and has limited tissue damage and emotional response. It eventually resolves with or without treatment after an injured area heals. Complete pain relief is not always achievable, but reducing pain to a tolerable level is realistic. Unrelieved acute pain can progress to chronic pain. What is chronic pain? Chronic pain is the pain that lasts longer than 6 months and is constant or recurring with a mild to severe intensity. It does not always have an identifiable cause and leads to great personal suffering. Examples: arthritic pain, headache, peripheral nephropathy, etc. Chronic non-cancer pain. What is this? The chronic pain that resulted due to non-cancer disease conditions is termed as chronic non-cancer pain. Chronic pain. Chronic pain may be chronic non-cancer pain, chronic cancer pain, chronic episodic pain. The possible unknown cause of chronic pain combined with the unrelenting nature and uncertainty of its duration frustrates a patient, frequently leading to psychological depression and even suicide. Associated symptoms of chronic pain include fatigue, insomnia, anorexia, weight loss, hopelessness, and anger. Chronic cancer pain. Chronic pain is the pain that is caused by tumor progression and related pathological processes, invasive procedures, toxicities of treatment, infection, and physical limitations. Approximately 70% to 90% of patients with advanced cancer experiences pain. Chronic episodic pain. Pain that occurs sporadically over an extended period of time is episodic pain. Pain episodes last for hours, days, or weeks. Examples are migraine headaches. Based on intensity, pain is few types, such as mild pain. Pain scale reading from 1 to 3 is considered as mild pain. Moderate pain. Pain scale reading from 4 to 6 is considered as moderate pain. Severe pain. Pain scale reading from 7 to 10 is considered as severe pain. Classification based on location. This is based on the site at which the pain is located, that is headache, back pain, joint pain, stomach pain, cardiac pain. Referred pain, that is pain due to problems in other areas manifest in different body parts. For example, cardiac pain may be felt in the shoulder or left arm with or without chest pain. That is the picture of pain scale. Based on intensity, pain is 3 types, that is mild pain, moderate pain and severe pain. Classification of pain based on etiology. Based on etiology, pain is 2 types. First is nociceptive pain and second is neuropathic pain. The 2 types of nociceptive pain is, first is somatic pain and second is visceral pain. And the 2 types of neuropathic pain is, the first is peripheral neuropathic pain and the second is central neuropathic pain. Classification of pain based on etiology. First is nociceptive pain. Nociceptive pain is experienced when an intact, properly functioning nervous system sends signals that tissue are damaged, requiring attention and proper care. For example, the pain experienced following a cut or broken bone alerts the person to avoid further damage until it is properly healed. Once stabilized or healed, the pain goes away. Next is somatic pain. This is the pain that is originating from the skin, muscles, bones or connective tissue. The sharp sensation of a paper cut or itching of a sprained ankle are common examples of somatic pain. Next is visceral pain. Visceral pain is pain that results from the activation of nociceptors of the thoracic, pelvic or abdominal visceral organs, characterized by cramping, throbbing, pressing or itching qualities. Examples: labor pain, agnia, agnia petrosis or irritable bowel. Neuropathic pain is associated with damaged or malfunctioning nerves due to illness, injury or undetermined reasons. Example: diabetic peripheral neuropathy, phantom limb pain, spinal cord injury pain. It is usually chronic. It is described as burning, that is electric shock, and or tingling, dull and itching. Neuropathic pain tends to be difficult to treat. Neuropathic pain is of 2 types based on which parts of the nervous system is damaged. First is peripheral neuropathic pain and the second is central neuropathic pain. What is peripheral neuropathic pain? Due to damage of peripheral nervous system, peripheral neuropathic pain occurs, that is phantom limb pain. And what is central neuropathic pain? Results from malfunctioning nerves in the central nervous system, that is spinal cord injury pain, that is stroke pain. Factors influencing pain. Developmental factors. Next is psychological factors, that is fatigue, genes, neurological functioning, etc. Next is Social factors, that is attention, previous experience, family and social support, spiritual factors, etc. Next is psychological factors, that is anxiety, coping style, etc. And the last is cultural factors. Developmental factors, under this, first factor is age. Age influences pain, particularly in infants and older adults. Young children have trouble understanding pain and the procedures that cause it. If they have not developed full vocabularies, they have difficulty verbally describing and expressing pain to parents or caregivers. Physiological factors, fatigue. Fatigue heightens the perception of pain and decreases coping abilities. If it occurs along with sleeplessness, the perception of pain is even greater. Pain is often experienced less after a restful sleep than at the end of a long day. Next physiological factor is genes. Research on healthy human subjects suggests the genetic information passed on by parents possibly increases or decreases the person's sensitivity to pain and determines pain threshold or pain tolerance. Next is neurological function. Any factor that interrupts or influences normal pain reception or perception, that is spinal cord injury, affects the patient's awareness of the response to pain. Social factors is attention. The degree to which a patient focuses attention on pain influences pain perception. Increased attention is associated with increased pain, whereas distraction is associated with a diminished pain response. Next social factors is previous experiences. If a person repeatedly experiences the same type of pain that was relieved successfully in the past, the patient finds it easier to interrupt the pain sensation. If a person is having worst previous experience, he may experience much pain. Next social factor is family and social support. The presence of family or friends can often make the pain experience less stressful. The presence of parents is especially important for children experiencing pain. Next, social factors is spiritual factors. Spiritual questions include: why has this happened to me? Why am I suffering? Spiritual pain goes beyond what we can see. What has God done this to me? Is this suffering teaching me something? If the person is experiencing like these feelings, it makes much painful. Next is psychological factors, that is anxiety. Anxiety often increases the perception of pain and pain causes feelings of anxiety. Critically ill or injured patients who perceive a lack of control over their environment and care have high anxiety levels. This anxiety leads to several pains. Next, psychological factors is coping style. Persons with better coping levels perceives less pain than the person with lower coping levels. Next factor is cultural factors. Cultural beliefs and values affect how individuals cope with pain. Individuals learn what is expected and accepted by their culture, including how to react to pain. Culture affects pain expression. Some cultures believe that it is natural to be demonstrative about pain. Others tend to be more introverted. Pain assessment and management. Precipitating or elevating factors. What causes the pain? What aggravates is, has medication or treatment worked in the past? Quality of pain. Ask the patient to describe the pain using words like sharp, dull, stabbing, burning. Radiation. Does pain exist in one location or radiate to other areas? Severity. Have patient use a descriptive numeric or visual scale to rate the severity of pain. Timing. Is the pain constant or intermittent? When did it begin? Pain assessment. Assess for objective signs of pain. That is, first is facial expression. Facial grimacing, that is a facial expression that usually suggests disgust or pain. Next is frowning. Facial expression in which the eyebrows are brought together and the forehead is wrinkled, that is sad face. Next is vocalizations, that is crying, mourning. Next is body movement, that is girding, resistance to moving. Pain assessment tools. These are various tools that are designed to assess the level of pain. The most commonly used tools are verbal rating scale, numeric rating scale, Wong-Baker's face pain scale. Management of pain. Pain can be managed through pharmacological interventions and non-pharmacological interventions. What is pharmacological interventions? Pharmacological therapy is given by using analgesics. The analgesics may be non-opioids. The analgesics may be non-opioids, that is opioids or adjuvants. What is the full form of NSAIDs? That is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. And what is the full form of opioids? That is what is the opioids? Opioids are medications that relieve pain derived from opium. Pharmacological interventions. Adjuvants. Adjuvants are drugs originally developed to treat conditions other than pain but also have analgesic properties. WHO pain management ladder. Pain scale reading. When it is 1 to 3, then the step is step number 1, and when the scale reading is 4 to 6, then it is step number 2, and when the scale reading is 7 to 10, then the step is 3. Pharmacological interventions. WHO pain management ladder. Pharmacological interventions. Adjuvants used for analgesic reasons and for sedation and reducing anxiety, that is tricyclic antidepressants, anti-epileptics, corticosteroids, etc. Patient controls analgesia. A drug delivery system called patient controlled analgesia, that is PCA, is a safe method for pain management that many patients prefer. It is a drug delivery system that allows patients to self-administer opioids, that is morphine and fentanyl, with minimal risk of overdose. PCA infusion pumps are portable and computerized and contain a chamber for a syringe or bag that delivers a small preset dose of opioid. To receive a demand dose, the patient pushes a button attached to the PCA device. Topical analgesis. Topical analgesics are applied over the patient's skin either in the form of topical ointments or transdermal patches. The patches will be sticking to the skin and delivers a small amount of dosage continuously. Local anesthesia. Local anesthesia is the local infiltration of an anesthetic medication to induce loss of sensation to a body part. Healthcare providers often use local anesthesia during brief surgical procedures such as removal of skin lesions or suturing a wound by applying local anesthetics topically on skin to anesthetize a body part. The drugs produce temporary loss of sensation by inhibiting nerve conduction. Regional anesthesia. Regional anesthesia is the injection of a local anesthetic to block a group of sensory nerve fibers. Examples of regional anesthesia include epidural anesthesia and spinal anesthesia. Non-pharmacological pain management. For many individuals, the use of non-pharmacologic methods enhances pain relief. These non-pharmacologic strategies are often used in combination with medication. Non-pharmacological therapies. The methods are heat and cold applications, meditations, distractions, imaginary. Non-pharmacological therapies: TENS application, music therapy, massage, yoga, acupuncture, herbal therapy, that is garlic, ginseng, etc. If you like my video, then please don't forget to subscribe my channel and like this video and share this video with your friends. Thank you.